Hi, and welcome back to the channel. If you've been here before, if you haven't, just welcome. My name is Lauren. I have been reviewing a lot of eyeshadow palettes lately. A lot of eyeshadow palettes, and I'm not even done. Like, we're gonna do this one, and then there's still more. I have a pile of eyeshadow palettes that I need to review still. And yes, by pile, I mean pile. Ooh, okay. But you know, forget about them. Let's focus on this guy because he's a beauty. Now, what are we talking about today? You probably already know because you read the title of this video. But it is the new Ensley Reign Cosmetics Harvest Moon palette. This is a fall palette. We're still in fall. I still have time to review it, okay? This is a fall palette, and I am so excited because look at this color story. Oh my goodness. Now, fun fact about this palette is I was feeling very productive one day. So I did a bunch of swatches of a bunch of different palettes all in one day because my camera was angled the right way. I didn't want to have to change it. I just, you know, was like on a roll, right? So I actually filmed the swatches for this palette probably like a month ago now. Been a while. I've had this guy in my possession for a little while. So you may notice in the swatches clip that I will be including here, I have nail polish. So different time of my life, different time in general. But either way, those swatches were magical. So I wanted to review the actual palette. I just wanted to do a look. I just want to see if it performs well. I just want to talk about it, you know, because if you are thinking about getting this palette, it's pricey. So it's retailing for $88.88. I do not know why there are cents. I don't understand. It's a US brand. You can just, you know, make it $88, right? I don't know. I don't understand why there's cents on there, but it is still available on Ensley Reign's website, though there is a 6 to 8 week pre-order going on. But I tend to find that they ship their pre-orders out pretty quickly. So I don't think that's too much of a problem, but just to warn you, it's pricey. There are coupon codes out there for Ensley Reign, so I would suggest if you are interested in picking this up, searching for one of those first and using them to save you a little bit of money because it's expensive, but it is pretty. But is it worth it? I don't know. I don't know. Is it? Maybe. Kind of looks like it. I don't know. But let's just get into the swatches. Let's do a look, and then we'll talk about my final thoughts. I'm looking at this now and I'm like, this is actually a pretty dark palette. So I'm interested to see what we're gonna do with it. So yeah, let's get into the swatches. Okay, so here we have the new Ensley Reign Harvest Moon palette. So cute. I love their artwork. And we're gonna swatch it. Look at this. Oh. Pretty. That's a lot of shimmers, and you know that's my favorite. So let's get into this. Can we fit them all down one arm? I don't think so. We'll do half and half. Okay, so first up we got Foliage, Harvest Moon, Corn Maze, Hunter's Moon, ooh, Equinox, wow, I picked up a little bit too much with that one, extra big swatch, Sparkling Cider, sounds delicious right now, Ghost Moon, oh my god, that's purple. I thought it was gonna be black. It's purple. It's a multi-chrome. Deciduous. Oh my gosh. They feel so nice. Flannel. Sweater Weather. Wow. Bougie. I realize that I'm going at a slant, so I'm sorry about that, guys. But oh my god, look at that. It's deciduous. Holy moly. It just looks like molten molten metal, you know? Like the other ones are beautiful, but this one just, ugh. Wishful Thinking, which is another multi-chrome. Tombstone. Oh, that's interesting. Forage. Pumpkin Patch. And we're getting into the mattes. Hayride. Cozy. Chilly. Spooky Season. Oh, I never swatch well with my pinky, if you could not tell. Phantom. And Hibernate. Okay, so there's the full palette swatched. It's absolutely stunning. It's very fall-like, so I'm excited to try it out because it seems like we're working with a few different types of formulas here in the eyeshadows. So I want to play with all of them. We'll see how many will fit on my face. Okay, so I went ahead and primed this eye with my MAC paint pot in Bare Study, my Ride or Die primer. And yeah, so looking at this palette, it is very dark. It's I mean, at least the mattes, you're getting a lot of dark mattes, but I typically like to start my looks out with a matte, but looking at this now, I'm like getting a little bit overwhelmed, I will say. But you know, we're gonna go into Hayride. I think that's the lightest one that I'm seeing, and we are just gonna I don't know yet. I'm gonna use my awesome Scream mirror because Halloween might be over. Not in my brain though, it's still going on. I was bummed because I pretty much missed out on Halloween this year. Like, I really like handing out candy. Like, I just remember when I was young, I freaking loved getting candy during Halloween, right? So I was looking forward to that, but I went to work, was feeling fine, and then I just got the biggest migraine. So I ended up leaving work early, coming home and just kind of hiding because I could not function. So I was hiding in a dark room. I finally started feeling better at like 10 o'clock at night. So at that point I had missed all the trick-or-treaters, which made me really sad because kids love it so much. Oh, it's so cute. Like seeing their little costumes, their little faces. So my husband was on Halloween duty. So he's not as big of a fan of Halloween as I am. So he just kind of puts out the bowl, you know. But I wanted to hand it out this year. Okay, so this matte went on really nice. It's not as dark as I was concerned it could potentially be, so it looks really good. It blended out really nice. No issues. Always good. So yeah, I'm actually really happy that it wasn't too dark. I really did think it was going to be very, very dark. But obviously we need to go into one of the darker colors. So I do want to go into, oh, I don't know, let's do a green look. Yeah, let's do a green look. Let's go into Hibernate here in the corner. It is a dark, dark green. And we're going to see how dark it is. Maybe it's not as dark. No, it's pretty dark. Also, I didn't dress up for Halloween. I had like this light up Halloween kind of like scrunchie that I stuck in my hair for work, and I called it a day. It was just like, October was one of those months that flew by. I was working on a couple projects for work and it was just like life consuming, completely life consuming. So I decided I never want to be that busy again. Not that like I get to decide that, but I just never want to do that again. It was terrible. It was terrible. But my manager is great. Like, she was super understanding that I was just swamped. And that really does make a difference. Okay, so I don't think this one was as dark as I was worried it would be either. So, okay. Now, it has been a few weeks, maybe a month, since I swatched this palette, so I don't remember what anything looks like. Obviously, though, we're gonna go into Sparkling Cider. Obviously, because it's gorgeous. I'm just putting that kind of on my outer lid. See, that is a dark color, and that is not picking up super well on that brush. Let me use something a little more firmer. Man, I really wish I would have reviewed this palette before Halloween, because it really does seem like a great Halloween palette. It's just like, grungy and fall grungy. It's really pretty. Okay, I think next what I want to do is I want to go into Forage right here. And this is one of those shadows that it's a little more flaky. So I like to typically, with a shadow like this, go in with my finger because I just find that it picks it up a little bit more. I'm going to go ahead and just put it in the middle of my eyelid. Okay. Now, I think kind of the Sparkling Cider, the dark green color, and then the Hibernate color, the matte dark green, kind of blended in with each other. They look very similar on the eye, even though one is a shimmer and one is a matte, but just something to kind of take note of. I mean, they blend together really well. You can see the shimmer flakes in Hibernate. I know the names. And I think I want to finish off, let's do 2 looks. Should we do 2 looks? Yeah, we might as well. Okay, I think I'm gonna finish it off by putting Wishful Thinking. No, I'm making this green. Deciduous. This green here. I'm gonna put it in the inner corner of my eye. I think in almost every video where I go in saying, I'm just gonna do 1 look, I often do 2. But it's like I'm here, you're here, we might as well see what else this palette has to offer. I'm gonna take Deciduous and I'm gonna kind of bring it up a little higher. It's a very soft shadow color, so it's going on really nicely. Gonna go in with more. It layers really well. You know, I'm not a huge fan of Forage. I really am not a huge fan of the flakier shadows. I think it's because as I've gotten older, my eyelids have a little more texture. They're not as smooth as they used to be. So the flaky shadows, I feel like don't sit on my eyelid quite as well as they used to. Not that I really have prior experience with flaky shadows, but I feel like 10 years ago, they would have looked a little bit different. Okay, we definitely have some fallout. I'm not sure what color this is from, but it is green. I'm gonna go back into Hayride, and I'm going to just put a little bit of it under my waterline. This would have been such a good look to do for Halloween. That green, it's like a witchy green. It's really pretty. Okay, we are obviously gonna be doing eyeliner and mascara after we do both eyes. And even though I know I said that I was gonna do 1 look, we're doing 2. We're doing 2. So I'm gonna go ahead and prime this eye, and let's get into the next look. For this one, you know, I think we're just gonna do all shimmer. Like the mattes that I used, I thought worked really well, but no, and I take it back already. I actually really wanna use Pumpkin Patch. I really like that color. So I think what I'm gonna do is, it's like a burnt orange. It's really, really pretty. I'm just going to put this guy just kind of at the edge of my eye. And apparently I want to put him on my upper eyelid too. I just kind of kept going with it. I think that is a good sign that I like this color. I should really do like this color. It's very pretty. There are so many shifty colors in this palette. I wish I could really capture it. I'm gonna see if I can capture it. It's hard to see if I just show it like this because the bright lights wash out the shifts, but it's just so pretty. But I think what I want to do is I want to go into Corn Maze here. And what do I want to do with Corn Maze? Good question. I think I'm going to just put him right here in the middle. Ooh. And that one is definitely multi-chrome. We got pink, we got yellow, we got orange in there. What a pretty color. It goes so well with this pumpkin patch color. I feel like I should know the name. Pumpkin patch just makes sense. Okay, I have to go into Tombstone. This is gonna be a very orange look. I have to go into Tombstone. We're gonna go in. We're gonna put him on the rest of the eye, I think. And see what that looks like. See, with this palette, I'm actually really glad that I didn't pick up the Odin's Eye palettes that launched during Halloween because I prefer these colors. I just feel like they have a little more depth to them. And they're very folly. It's perfect. Did not need the other palettes, but they are re-releasing their holiday palettes from last year. And I actually do have FOMO that I didn't pick those up. So I might pick those up this year. Not the new palettes that they launched for the holidays. Those don't speak to me. They're too pastel-y. Okay, so should we put anything underneath the waterline? Should we go back into Pumpkin Patch? Sure, let's do it. I know it looks a little ridiculous right now. It's because I need eyeliner, I need mascara. It's gonna look so much better. And then also, we are gonna try on the lip gloss that came with this collection. So the Rain or Shine lip gloss in Harvest Moon. So let me go ahead and put on some eyeliner, some mascara, and then we'll come back here, put on the lip gloss, talk about my thoughts. Okay, we have eyeliner and mascara on. Let's go ahead and go into the lip gloss. Oh yeah, I also put on highlighter. This look just felt like it needed some highlighter. Okay, I do like how they like securely seal everything so you know it hasn't been tampered with. I like that. So again, this is in the color Harvest Moon. Appropriate. I like that color quite a bit. So this is the look that we came up with the Ensley Reign Harvest Moon palette. By look, I guess it's looks. Though I feel like this look would have worked perfectly for Halloween. Green and orange, yes. But unfortunately, we're in November. I missed Halloween, it is what it is, but we like the look. We do. I just really like Ensley Reign. I really like their eyeshadow formula, and these were beautiful. These all went on really smoothly. I thought the mattes went on really well. Again, you know, I was worried about them being too dark, but I feel like they actually applied a lot lighter than I thought they were going to, especially this color Hibernate. Like you could go in and make it deeper for sure. Hayride is kind of the perfect transition color for me. But yeah, I mean, those were the only ones we played with, matte-wise, but they worked great. No issues there. For the rest of the palette are the little shimmers. It's a lot of multi-chromes, and it's beautiful. It's really, really stunning. I actually think this may be my favorite palette from Ensley Reign yet, except I did just get the Mad Hatter palette. Do you want to see a review of that? I'm going to do a review of that anyways because the palette is gorgeous. So we need to do a review. But let's get back to the Harvest Moon palette, okay? So let's talk about the different kind of formulas. There's a couple different formulas in the shimmers. One is the more kind of flaky shadow. It's not my favorite, but that is just a personal preference. It still went on beautifully. The color is still beautiful, but I just am not a huge fan of the flakes. I find them a little bit harder to work with. Not as hard as, say, like Danessa Myricks Chrome Flakes. Those are near impossible. They're so difficult to work with, but they're beautiful. It's just hard, you know? So it's not my favorite, but Forge was a beautiful color, so I can still see myself going into it, even though it's not my favorite formula. The rest of them are just so smooth. They apply so beautifully. It's just a gorgeous shimmer formula. I love it. I think it's beautiful. And again, like a lot of these are multi-chromes, and the shifts that I'm seeing in them, it's just magical. It really does explain why the price tag is $88.88. Because all the multi-chromes in here are so beautiful. I will say though, I did experience quite a bit of fallout. There is definitely fallout all over my face. I tried to clean it up a little bit, but it's definitely still there. So that is something just to kind of notice. You may want to use a little bit of a wetter eyeshadow primer to help things stick a little better. Even though I love my MAC paint pot, it's not always the best for certain kinds of eyeshadow formulas because they can just still get all over your face because it is a bit of a drier primer. But yeah, it's just, I mean, I'm just really happy to have this palette in my life. The fact that I use Tombstone and I'm obsessed with it, it's a bright orange. I never use bright oranges. So I'm actually pretty excited to play with the rest of this palette now. It's so beautiful. Yeah, I guess that's kind of all I have to say about the Harvest Moon palette by Ensley Reign. I'm a huge fan. I think this actually is one of the few palettes that have come out in fall that really screams fall to me. I mean, it's got your dark greens, your variety of oranges, you know, it's got a burnt orange, which again, like this pumpkin patch color is so beautiful. Oh yeah, we didn't talk about that when we talked about mattes. This pumpkin patch color is beautiful. Okay, it's a burnt orange, it's like a burnt umber. It's gorgeous. So, I mean, it's just, you got your browns. I said greens already, but I'll say greens again because the greens in here are beautiful. But overall, just a beautiful palette. That's why I wanted to review it, even though, you know, we're moving closer and closer to winter. But it's just, I swatched it and the swatches were so beautiful that I knew I wanted to do more with it. So we reviewed it. We love it. We love it. We really do. The lip gloss is also great. It's not too sticky, and I really like the color. So this is actually my first lip gloss from Ensley Reign. So kind of excited for that. I hope you're not too sick of all these eyeshadow palette reviews. Again, we have a few more. We have a few more coming up. So expect those. We have a couple collections that I've picked up that I haven't reviewed yet. So those are coming up too. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I definitely enjoyed filming with this palette. It's one of those palettes that you want to be artsy with it. You want to explore a little more. You want to use all the colors and they all work really beautifully. So it's a fun palette to play with. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. That would help me and my channel out immensely. And I will see you all in the next video. Bye!